Actually, what's interesting is, when I made my arrangement album before the remaster even existed, there are certain little harmonic changes they made to make it work for real instruments that are the same things I did, which is very neat.
Nice.
Because it didn't have to be that way. It was just like that happy coincidence.
That's awesome.
We're live, right? Hello,
yes,
friends.
we just arrived live. We're joined by Scott Pennick today, who's taking us through the world of Ruin.
Hello.
He's Slurgy in the
Scott's
chat.
Actually,
he is
taking us through.
Performer at Nakvagum when we had the concert last year, and just general all-around awesome human.
Ryan, it is. I've been lurking in the chat and stuff for some of the streams, so it's cool to be joining.
We always enjoy seeing you pop by, and now we get to see your face.
It's true.
Of course, we saw your face play Hades at Nakvagum.
That's right.
And that was also wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
All right. This is one of those remastered tracks that is on my good list. I love the mandolin instrument at the beginning of this one now.
We're very happy with this one.
I should put on headphones is what I need to do. That way I can...
I've got my video folder queued up.
Oh, yeah. We'll give Scott just a second here.
If there's anything we need to look at.
No, I reckon... I mean, you're good.
Okay.
I'll plug in a moment.
Yeah, this is really like best glow up.
Yeah, this one is great.
This is up there. We were all like, hey, Mount Colts is like a good track. I mean, it's not a bad track in the original game, but it just kind of gets lost in all the other good ones. And in this one, it was like, whoa, this is really good.
This one's super good.
Yeah.
I love this arrangement. So good. Okay, so yeah, Tara's not having it. Oh, I hate talking to the kids who all lost their parents.
Oh, no, we have to do it because
I know, we do.
There's a way to understand this wording of it as a translation censorship issue, because you don't want to say death on the Super Nintendo in the 90s. But I actually think it matches the emotion and the voice of the kid, and it makes it more morbid, not less.
Yeah, it's like the kid kind of putting it in their own words.
Yep, same with this kid, right? Like, this making something into the nuclear family is a very child thing.
Mm-hmm. We call Tara Mama here.
Yep.
Yeah, again, went to sleep, didn't wake up.
Ooh, we'll be back to visit that subplot later.
Spicy.
Romance.
You could, in fact, we did not do it in our playthrough. You could catch them making out in Mobliz in the World of Balance.
That's
They're
true.
in a corner somewhere.
Yeah.
They're like always glued to each other.
That's right. Let's go talk to Tara and see if we can't recruit her into the party.
But all these people are like, she's important. We can't recruit her. She doesn't want to fight anymore.
I love the silence that they kept here, by the way.
Yeah.
As she says, I can't fight anymore. It's a very nice, that's a very tasteful.
Yeah, I'm really glad that this is not scored.
Yeah. It's such a better gut punch this way.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fight on the day the world ended. Someone unequipped all my gear. I also enjoyed the Scheisen Posten warning.
Saxophone
Scott,
Awakening doesn't work for me in this moment.
I have opinions.
I want to hear them.
Well, I hate the bass line because it's very Mitsuda-esque, as you guys previously talked about when we first started. I was in the chat for that discussion. I think the piano sounds nicer, sounds realer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Mostly I just hate the bass line. The rest is fine. Like, it would be good if they just didn't do the fretless bass sound.
It's definitely the Chrono Cross bass, like, exactly. Oh, I forgot that it fades out to silence again. Anyway, let's get out of here if she's not going to fight, whatever.
Yeah, Tara's not coming along. Meanwhile.
That is very much an opera pit brass now.
Mm.
Humbaba!
So some random trivia. I just replayed all of FF6 in 6 hours for Dana for tomorrow on Fast Forward on the Super Nintendo. And I did that by just setting everybody to level 99 and like just wilding through the whole game.
Honestly, that's brilliant.
I was gonna ask how you did it.
In that fight, if Terra has Ultima, just by naturally leveling, she gets it like level 85 or something. You still can't damage
right
Funbaba there. You're just out of luck.
Oh, interesting.
You can do nothing.
Does it take a while or does he still kill you in one hit, or does it...
No, he had to make his way through like all 9,000 hit points I had or some nonsense.
Oy. Oy.
This track still slaps. The best moment is on the repeat. There's like an electric guitar wail in there that's been added. Yeah. That is absolutely phenomenal.
I still think they could have made the guitars even crunchier and like dirtier, just like layers of distortion.
Mm-hmm.
That background rhythm guitar, that's
especially in the
oh, is it Poison he's worked
to? They could have given it like a slightly different edge. Wouldn't that have been good? Like same track, but they like dirty it up more. That would be amazing.
That would be cool.
I don't know that I have bio is the problem. It's just not useful throughout most of the game in this one.
I don't know, I think I always use bio whenever I play through. I played through it when it came out, and I use bio a lot. Good for Funbaba, it's good for the tentacle fight. Good for a handful of them.
Alright, I covered 1,000 needles. I need... Hold on. I need to do better is what I need.
Do better, Ryan.
Right.
We live in a society.
Oh wait, she's using Zone Seek, right? Yeah, we can just do that. Ah. I think I'm just gonna eat it this time.
Underbite reminds me of like someone's dog.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lose once here. Hold on.
Underbite. Yeah, I made my own soda with a grapefruit basil simple syrup and just plain seltzer, and it was a very good choice.
Nice.
So that's tipple number 1, the non-alcoholic tipple.
So for Darth Plagueis, some of this instrumentation is live players.
Well, a lot of it is.
Yeah.
I think isn't most of it? I mean,
I think most of it is.
Not. I swear that bass in Awaken doesn't sound real, but that's, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I stuff is clearly like edited digitally, like they do stuff to it. There's definitely some synth stuff throughout, and then there's a few moments where there's like chip tuniness that we've appreciated, where they have stuff from the original. Hi, Phoenix Orc.
Hey, welcome, Raiders.
Y'all still playing? Let's see, Majora's Mask? No, that's Serious Play. Never mind.
Yep.
Hey,
Phoenix Orchestra friends.
Phoenix
Orchestra, when they stream, they usually stream themselves playing. So it's a matter of what piece they were playing.
What were you playing? Whenever I'd check some Majora's Mask. That sounds great.
Beethoven 7th. That's awesome.
7th. Awesome. That's my favorite of the symphonies of Beethoven.
Ooh, down to 14. If I was really trying to show off, I would have canceled the cure and like tried to limit break there. They're introduced in 6, not 7. There's a very low chance if you swing from the red line that they'll just come up with a magical special move that'll basically insta-gib anything.
Until later in the game when it becomes worse, actually.
Ooh, Beethoven's 7 Movement 3 is a prog riff. Yes, please. Prog is always the right answer.
With Dana, it is.
With me, yeah. Especially if it's prog metal. Ooh. Speaking my language.
If I lose this, I'm just going to make Sabin full-time healer, because clearly that's working for me.
Favorite Zelda game is Majora's Mask.
I am 1,000 needles from losing at any moment here.
2017. Joe played it, and so I saw it secondhand because I missed that era of gaming originally, so I didn't play it. But I saw it all.
Oh my gosh. Can I get a second cure off in time? Okay. Yeah, the fight's not supposed to be hard. I don't know what's going on with this game right now.
I should have put a black belt on him.
Yeah, I would have if I realized that the fight was going to take this long, right? Man.
Good thing to have on him anyway, right?
It is when you have low party count.
Hi, Pete.
Hello, Pete. I'm
Sorry,
just not
I tricked you
excited.
into watching me go live earlier. I meant to tweet in advance enough to let people know, and then I got busy with the baby, and I didn't get to until right before the stream. So I had a couple wander in. And were wait.
I want to say he's got 12k. By the way, that's
right thing.
What my memory is telling me. So let's hit 12 here. 2 more blitzes, and then we'll start to panic a little.
So yeah, I'm gonna go live once a week. We're still figuring out the time I'm pulling the students. I just today was let's go over the syllabus day. Very boring, but I wanted to do a stream of it because I figured some people might want to listen to it instead of read it. So I wanted to have multimodality, hooray! But it meant that a couple people were like, "Wait, today's not Friday. Why are you why aren't you streaming?"
All right, I'm almost out of magic though. I can't cure that much more.
And you're on the verge of death constantly.
I know. Pat's right. I could elixir. I don't want to use an elixir on the Funbaba fight. Do you know how stupid that is?
Yeah, but I don't know. If you're like me, you get to the end of the game having never used any elixirs because you're stingy.
As it should be.
So, YOLO. Or you only live as many times as you start over in a video game. YOLO only works when there's permadeath.
I did it right there because the cast time would have killed me. I had that calculated.
So Ryan, what drink did you get?
I got a New Holland beer, the Poet.
Ooh, the Poet. That's such a nice name. That makes it sound like it's actually good.
It is good.
But I know I probably wouldn't like it, but I bet it's delightful for beer lovers.
I'm convinced, by the way, that I should win at this point. I have done a lot more damage than this boss took me on the Super Nintendo that I did earlier today. Luckily for us, this fight is technically optional right now. So if we lose, we can just come back to this scene with 4 characters later. I mean, I'm not pumped about that, but... I've gotten lucky with that every single time, by the way. I should have lost 7,000 needles ago.
I'm really shocked he's still alive.
How does he have so many needles?
Right.
I'm just going to try to hit him with a fight command and see if the game wants him to be hit with a fight command for some reason.
No. So...
Patrick, we know that's not the case because Celis died to 1,000 Needles. That's why she's down.
The last character.
Ah.
The last one standing.
I suppose it's possible.
We've got to hear this loop plenty of times.
Right? Too many times now.
And it's, it's my favorite because it has the Lindsey Sterling violin.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry this is taking so long, everybody. I really thought we'd be done in like a third of this time for this boss. Well, Aura Bolt remains the strongest thing I've got. So let's keep blasting him down. Yep. Pat was right, by the way. I had to kill him. He did not run. In the Super Nintendo game, he runs away.
Yeah. And then she's like, ooh, I'm out of shape. I'm gonna lay in bed for a bit.
It's okay. You can stay there. We're out of here.
Don't worry, kid. You're not gonna lose Mama.
I think, if memory serves, at least until, obviously, Dancing Mad final boss fight has AI triggers that I need to navigate. That's the last one that's like a half-plot, half-game boss fight. All the rest of them are just straight combat encounters from this point forward. So, I got my friend Remagicite. We can move on our way to the next thing. We get to hear the annoying Chocobo music. Because I am not walking the whole Serpent Trench right now. That is just not a reality.
Scott, you've heard the Chocobo theme, right?
C-H-O-E-O. Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's... I hated it when I first heard of it. Like, hated it. Like, livid. I was like, what is this? And now...
I feel like it's intentionally / ironically bad, though. Like,
yeah,
they know it's a joke.
So I went to a Distant Worlds concert in like 2007, maybe, and I met Nobuo Uematsu for a VIP ticket. It was incredible. But they did live a version of the Chocobo theme where they had the audience shout like that.
Oh no. So it was our audience participation moment.
Yeah, it was in like an Orpheum theater, and a bunch of nerds all shouting, C-H! It was pretty cringe, but I joined in. I loved it.
Nice.
Had a great time.
How can you not join in?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go.
It's just so...
What is going on?
I mean, I guess Chocobo themes have to be ridiculous.
Oops. I'll be right back. Stan just knocked something over, and it sounded tragic.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Yeah, check on it.
I hope it's not tragic.
I'm gonna assume Stan is a cat. Or...
Yeah, Stan is
Karen's
black
cat.
Yeah. That's what cats do, so...
It's true. Mine doesn't. She's sleeping on the floor here, being really sweet.
Oh.
So, incidentally, I was... Okay, Celis is a lot higher magic-wise than Sabin is. I was going to say, I was, like, extra leveling with extra stuff going on for everybody. But we're going to need the running shoes on both characters this time here.
Also, I love this Dark World theme, that Overworld theme here. Like...
Yeah, it's very good.
I always got sad in the SNES when it gets replaced.
When it gets replaced?
When you get the airship, the airship theme becomes the theme for everywhere.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It's like I could have used both, you know? Like, just kept this as the overworld theme, kept that one for when I'm on the airship.
Clarinet here for this one is still really good.
So good.
Oh, they're in the cafe first. Sorry, I forgot what I was doing.
Also, I like how they kept the bass instrument and the kick drum together in unison, because usually that would be like I don't know, a no-no, but that's how it is in the OST, I'm pretty sure, and they kept that.
Yep.
Just, it hits good.
This is your first hint as to who this character is, incidentally. Because who flirts with the ladies in this game? Let's talk to these losers.
It's not Kafka.
Let's do some shopping. See if we have weapons to buy. Ooh, we have enough money for a couple of these. We're gonna get 2.
Yeah, that's a very good weapon to have.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, Final Fantasy is a buy the weapons first franchise. Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana is a buy the armor first franchise. Here the armor is, I mean, it's worth having, but you don't need it. Oh look, they kept his normal color palette for this little disguise.
Yeah, what does he go by? Like Gareth or something?
It's Gared. It's an anagram of Edgar, right?
Right.
And in the original, doesn't that guy say something like, "You took one look at me and thought I was a loser, right? You're obligated to buy from me now."
He does that in the World of Ruin
what
for sure, yeah.
I remember as a kid actually not understanding what that meant. I didn't get it.
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't judging you. Like,
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? I'm just here. You're the relic shop. Like, I don't get it.
Ooh, he's slow moving in this one. I don't like that at all. Oh, I gotta talk to him again now. He's buying oranges or whatever.
you just gotta like creep on him a little bit. Yeah, right.
I think it's a little bit more elegant in the Woolsey, by the way, and it pains me to say that. Where instead of that, just the flirting, he says, "I'm sorry, my lady, but I assure you, you have the wrong person." To which Celis responds, "Only Edgar would say, my lady."
Fedora and all.
Right?
Common courtesy. The whole world over. I love the stance he takes when he says that right there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of expression in those little gestures. I just love it.
Yeah, they really get such good sprite expressivity here.
Yeah, and there's just a lot more poses in this game than there are in, say, Final Fantasies 4 or 5. The sprite work here, despite the fact that we are still looking at rectangular shapes for everybody, is emotionally more expressive in the way that Chrono Trigger is.
Mm-hmm. And the sprites are a lot bigger in Chrono Trigger. So yeah, we stow away.
It is true, the sprites are an extra 8 pixels tall.
Mm-hmm.
In FF6 compared to FF5, where they are 8x8 squares.
So it took me forever, but I explained this take on an old-fashioned in the chat. It is. It's astounding. So good. Yeah, as soon as I saw that the recipe was like, make a simple syrup, but take it a little further so it's a bit thicker like a caramel and use brown sugar and green tea and bay leaves, I'm like, okay, yes.
That sounds good.
And then when I made
Pat,
it,
that
I
doesn't
had
surprise me at
leftover.
all. That changing sprite size gives you just a lot more options.
Yeah, totally. I don't know if you heard that. That was my husband sneezing. Heard it all the way upstairs.
FF6 still uses like traditional looking rectangular sprites. Chrono Trigger feels in many ways, and this will feel
More
like
anime-like.
this will feel like a knock to some of you, but I mean it as a compliment. It feels more like a Sega Saturn title in many ways than a Super Nintendo game.
I agree with that, and I don't know why. How did you reach this conclusion?
Because the characters like are not boxy in Chrono Trigger, right? Like everybody here is approximately the same width and the same height. And because Chrono Trigger sprites are so big, they don't have to work within those constraints. Okay, I already got all the boxes. It helps that the colors are like super bright and vivid in Chrono Trigger as well. And I don't mean like extra saturation like this ugly Game Boy Advance world map we're seeing now. I mean like the greens are greener and the blues are bluer in Chrono Trigger than they are here, which has more like a cinematic kind of muted palette, especially on the Super Nintendo version of the game. And I mean, the world has died, right? So like it works here.
Oh, here we go. Haven't heard this in a little while. I love the
I
flute in this
need
one.
Pat to excuse me, I'm coughing. To elaborate on the Kuleshov effect in the chat.
I mean, I can briefly speak to it. It's the idea that two shots in a sequence are more powerful for the viewer than if you just have the single shot by itself. So it has to do with like montage in the Russian school. So Kuleshev's who it's named after. I think, and then the explanation here being like when you have the larger. At least tell me if I'm getting this wrong here in the chat, but. The idea being that when the pixels are bigger, you sort of have to animate them more instead of just having like, you know, a couple shots in sequence of bigger expressions. You have to kind of animate through the expression, and that actually makes it less expressive. I think that's the idea here.
Okay.
Close, but there's a little more nuance. Yeah, please.
I love that this turtle, who's just a random background object throughout the first 6 times you're in this cave, is used here.
Becomes useful.
A turtle.
Yeah, so the image that you juxtapose with the first one can change its meaning.
Right, it creates meaning, yeah.
Right. So if Tara says something to point at a lock and gives that look, he's hurt. Yeah.
So how much of that, Pat, is related to the idea that Cyan only does that particular pose, even though it's the same game command? He only does that pose in different contexts than when Locke does that pose. So if you know the way the game engine works, you know it's the same animation command, but an average player might not make that immediate connection.
Yeah, they're kind of connecting it to like what they know about the character. Yeah, it's a context thing. And creating context. Jared really cares about the random soldiers in Figaro Castle, huh?
You don't want to talk to the soldiers so they can all say the exact same thing?
They all just
As if
say,
we were ever
can't
convinced,
breathe,
though.
which is better than them all saying, ugh, which is what they say in the Super Nintendo game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the idea with big sprites, they're more readable. You bring less of your own interpretation, so you can't get 4 different emotions from one gesture. That reminds me a little bit of Scott McCloud's Understanding Comics, where he talks about like one of the reasons cartoons are so incredible and expressive is that they have this universality, right? Like the smiley face versus the really realistic smile that's drawn.
Think about Garfield as a comic. How many different facial expressions does Garfield and John have? Only about 9, right? But the way in which they are used is absolutely incredible.
And then if you do Garfield minus Garfield, John is so existential.
Garfield minus Garfield is so good.
It's very good.
That is a good meme.
I am going to micromanage level management for these two. I'm not going to do it for every character because I'll get too tired.
Notice that we have the Returners theme playing in here. Kind of weird.
It's like they wanted to pick something regal that wasn't just
Figaro.
Yeah.
Figaro.
Yeah, because we've got Empire and we've got Figaro, but we don't have any other, right? Any other like regal
big
stand-ins.
brassy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe the idea is there's not really any returners now that the world's over, so the theme gets to belong to anybody. Figaro's
it got
like
adopted.
Yoink. I love that little flute moment.
That little flute, yeah. That is really good.
Also the tuba.
I was about to say that. Yeah. I think those little things that they added in, that's where, to me, the remastered tracks really shine. Is where they took the moments to like add a little fill that you just weren't gonna do in the sort of 16-bit SNES sound font. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they did it really well in a lot of the tracks.
Well, in the way that I do my transcriptions, I do it by channel, and it really shows you just how, like, Uematsu's channel management is so perfect. Like, anybody not playing, that channel is still being used. It's very rare he's not using all of them.
Yeah.
And there are places where, as we found out when we had Matthew Valente on, there are a couple places where it's going to read as silence if you just play the channel, but it's actually being used to modify one of the other channels and get like a certain effect. So like even in those places, I'm like, I doubt that those channels aren't being used now. Like I sort of feel like that.
I hadn't thought about that before at all. Incidentally, that was a really cool moment a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we listened to how the Kafka stuff was modified, just like to create his sound. It was neat. Also, these tentacles are very unsettling.
Also, this fight's kind of hard. Like, if you struggle with Bob, I'm a little worried, Ryan.
No, this fight is very easy if you come prepared, and I have. Both characters are immune to being grabbed. They have running shoes, and Celis is also immune to poison. I can't lose this fight.
That's true, the running shoes. Yay. That's true.
This is a fight that you can, like, smarts your way out of, Final Fantasy V style. I'm really good at those. We should just be able to use all the fire stuff to force kill 3 tentacles down, and then it'll be trivial to get the last one. Ooh, I like that the tentacles turn in this game. Did you all see that?
I'm trying not to look at them too much. They skeeve me out.
Don't they turn in the SNES as well, or do they not?
I don't know, because I one-shot them on Super Nintendo earlier today.
Hello, 8-Bit Aria. Welcome.
Greetings.
Alright, no more fire at this point. Switch over to ice. We'll do what we can here. Alright. There we go. I think this is going to be the last hard fight we have, incidentally. Because this is our last fight with less than a full party. And we only have one more boss before we hit the Moogle Charm, at which point we're just going to go grab endgame gear and then start winning a lot.
Nice.
I normally try to do that type of stuff, like going and grabbing equipment off stream, but the rewards are so good here for so little time investment. If you just go get Mog first, that's what we're gonna do.
I love Mog.
Alright, we're poisoned. Hold on.
I kind of missed the SNES animation though, where they just made the pixelization like bigger.
Hmm.
Kind of wish they'd have kept that in a way.
Yeah, it's gonna be, So, if you come to the stream tomorrow, you'll hear the whole argument here. But the game doesn't really want you to go get Mog followed by Go-Go right away, though of course, that is the optimal play, and it is what we will be doing tonight. We don't have time to, like, do the plot-relevant things. We want to win right now, to hear music.
Yeah, Ryan is, I guess fittingly, being the pro streamer of the bunch, coming to my stream with his own gameplay that we will switch to.
Yeah, Darth Plagueis, no, we're gonna go do Go-Go after Daryl's Tomb. But it's coming.
Yeah,
it will be tonight yet.
I didn't transcribe Go-Go, nobody asked for it, so I didn't do that one. I did 80% of the score.
It's pretty good. It's a lot of tracks.
Yeah, I already had like 17 or 18% somewhere in there just from my dissertation. So I did do a lot though. This was.
All right, over to Colin Jen. We absolutely cannot go to the ancient castle right now. We will just get destroyed by like normal fights there. That's not a thing until next week. Sorry, everybody.
Ryan's gonna do the dino grind off stream.
I will. Yeah, we're not fighting dinosaurs on stream. Y'all don't want to watch me do that.
Maybe one.
Right. The one thing I missed from the Game Boy Advance edition is I really missed the Leviathan fight. You can fight Final Fantasy V's Leviathan and get him as a Magicite for your party. It gives you a water element spell, which the game otherwise does not have. It's Strago exclusive. As an element. Ooh, Dana, can you ban that person?
Yep.
Yay.
Mod powers, activate!
Yeah, my mod powers are like really, really slow. I don't know what's happening.
All right. And Scott, I forget, did you do Daryl's theme as part of your guitar collection?
No, but I did
Okay.
do Epitaph, if that's what you
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, perfect. We'll have to cut to that. When we get
and
there.
I remember we have the transcriptions.
We will
so
do
can
that as
those.
well.
Do we want to do Setzer's theme and then Epitaph right back to back, just so we can hear them together?
Yes, let's do that. We'll do the transcriptions now, and after the tomb, we'll cut to Scott's edition before hearing the Pixel Remaster.
Perfect.
So, I'm going to mute Final Fantasy VI.
I'll share.
There we go. Friends on Discord, you're going to want to pop over and watch Dana and not me for a minute. See if I still have this set up correctly. And I do. You can go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, so I don't know. We may have taken like the briefest of looks at this one at some other point just to do it, but obviously we're going to play them back to back because this is one of the paired themes.
Just love the way all the different voices sort of like take their little moment in this one.
And then we get our loot. Etc. Alright, and then our friend here. Epitaph.
This one's so good.
A lot of people's favorite in the whole game. You note here that I did a composite because 2, 3, and 4 just looked a little bit weird across the channels.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's done that way to simulate, like, a sustain effect on a plucked string.
It is. You can see like how I've kind of notated them as longer holds. I like that texture change too, back to the sparseness. So beautiful.
So, I have an idea as to why so many people like this song, in addition to just, it is very good. Though, let's be clear, it is very good. But we will get through the next area first. Let me unmute FF6.
Yeah, I think that's a track where I feel like if back in the day Nobuo had access to better sound thoughts or could somehow do live musicians, which of course you couldn't do on the SNES, this would have been one that like really would have been taken to the next level.
I have high expectations for the remaster here. Have not heard it.
I've not, and importantly,
what to walk into.
Rarely for me, I have also not seen it. And the whole Epitaph sequence stands alongside the opera as the best cinematography in 16-bit gaming.
which you talk about in your chapter. We'll probably take a look at that sequence.
Yeah, the little screen. It's like you're watching a movie as you go down.
Right.
The
The camera panning up is so good.
And
Yeah,
you never lose the characters hearing the story from him.
Yeah.
It's so good. Of course,
And it still allows you to
well.
interact with it too. Like you're still a part of it. It's still a game. You still control walking down the stairs. You know.
Yeah.
Keeping you in the moment.
Well, sure, Pat. I mean, there is no camera per se, right?
We just mean, yeah, we just mean cinematographically.
Right.
Yeah, it was always fun to me when I first got an emulator and playing with the background layers to see how things were done in the SNES games.
Yeah.
Playing with the layers and enabling them and seeing what they hid and what they didn't.
I loved doing that. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, there was something like depending on when the emulation was happening, that sometimes the transparency layers didn't look right in certain emulators too, so you would have to turn them off in order to play stuff.
To Patrick's point about how the Super Nintendo handled that, I strongly suspect that that's why that whole sequence, the rest of the background, is just empty black, because I think they were out of room to contextualize the space there.
I think it works. It works better, actually. That's one of those perfect examples of limitations breeding creativity.
Yeah, I do defer to Pat, though. He would know more than I do about whether or not my hunch is correct there.
I always liked this dungeon, like the look of it, the tomb. It's really striking.
Yeah.
The color palette and everything.
I'm actually going to turn Celis into something of a fighter here.
It was a good bell, Karen. I'm sure we mentioned that last time too.
It's true. Yep.
But is it a good bell or a bad bell? It's a foreboding bell, I think. It's an end of the world bell.
Bell is in the eye of the beholder.
Yes, there you go.
Well, not literally, because that would be painful.
Yeah. Yes, it would.
One of the fun things about this generation of role-playing games, generally speaking, is that any character that has a completely unique look is important, right? They reuse NPC graphics, so like one random NPC looks like one of 4 different NPC types. Characters like Daryl here and Scala in Chrono Trigger, you know they're important solely because of their uniqueness.
It's like if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons with your buddies and your DM gives a certain NPC character a name, lock that one away.
Right. Yeah, the innkeeper hands you a drink. I mean, you don't need to remember who that is, right?
But if he's Jed the innkeeper, this is different.
Exactly. Actually, we'll do... Yeah, that's fine. Setzer needs no magic right now. We're just not going to use
Also,
him.
does that part of the choir that just played a moment ago, does that remind anyone else of the choir in Home Alone?
Ever so slightly.
Like at all?
I hear it.
Okay.
Because I mean, being in a higher register, it reads as possibly having some children in the mix.
Yeah.
That's got that children's choir timbre.
Yeah.
And just like the tone that they're getting.
Hold on, I need to actually close that view of Dana. There we go.
Scott, you were getting challenged. I knew Pete was going to speak up as soon as D&D got mentioned, because often Pete, when he misses our streams, it's because he's doing D&D with people.
Nice.
Then my
you
players
always
are-
give all your NPCs names?
What?
Awesome.
How do you...
Please tell me you've used the community ones before, like Bing Bong the Archer and Brutalitops.
Also, do you keep track of all of them then? Because I have to imagine you play your and say, like, I want to go talk to blah, blah, blah. I'm impressed.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, let's see, there's Hector the Well-Endowed, there's Lavernica, Bing Bong the Archer, Brutalitops. I think Jeff is what, Mar? With just like a lot of R's at the end. Mar. It's a good episode.
And are you going to go rearrange the tombstones, Ryan?
I wasn't going to for the sake of time. Because it requires a visit to 2 extra rooms that have no treasure otherwise.
You were such a dedicated DM, Pete. I want to play D&D with you as my dungeon master. I haven't played a lot of D&D though. Side quest, may it rest in peace, actually had like beginner D&D. There was like a club you could join and they would like teach you how to play. And I never got to do it because they closed.
I'm old. I did a
Used to
lot
love
of D&D
it.
3.5, like an embarrassingly long time ago. The bookshelf has a bunch of the source books behind me. But I've not played any D&D 5th edition, which is the current one.
Did you play in college, Ryan?
On and off, but never routinely.
Okay.
I don't know. A friend of mine has weekly D&D, and she's got twin boys that are 2 months younger than my daughter. So it can be done.
Okay, so
we just have we haven't seen anyone. Like we used to do Friday night dinner gaming, where we would kind of like a open dinner party every week with our friends, and it would usually turn into gaming after that. And haven't really been able to do that because pandemic. I look forward to when we can, though. It's such an institution. We started it when we were still in, crowded into tiny apartments, and continued it once we got the house.
No, that didn't do enough damage for me to care. Okay.
Special.
It was the best, and we have kind of a ridiculous game collection, Scott. I don't know if you've been on a stream where I've mentioned it. We've got about 1,200 physical games.
1,200.
Yeah.
Okay.
For all
wow.
manner, and I mean we have.
They're
a
insane.
Blast cart with all the Vector games ever made, but then we also have number of things for every system. It's not like dedicated. There are some systems that the collection is bigger than others, like NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis.
That's incredible.
But yeah, big span, and we have a network of Joe's collected some like really nice professional grade CRT monitors.
Oh, nice.
That were used for like security cameras and stuff back in the day. And he tracked them down on like eBay and stuff. And we have different sizes, and he has one mounted sideways for vertical shooters. So we've got like a network of 5, and we have a box in the corner that's like a massive switcher so you can send any of the consoles to any of the TVs.
Oh my god. Relive the GoldenEye days.
Yeah,
Da-da-da-da.
exactly. We also have a home theater set up with a projector, so we can send like even the old school games to the projector, so it'll project on the screen that takes up the whole wall. So like playing Mario on the big screen, it's really fun.
That's awesome.
Can we talk about that block for Magnitude 8? I feel really good about that. All right. If I would save this treasure chest and boss for much later, as in like, never mind, look, it gave me 2 dragon claws for only killing the normal thing.
It does. I got the same thing when I played.
I was just about to say that on the Super Nintendo, if you want 2 dragon claws, which you do,
yeah,
that's wild.
I would enjoy that once, Pete, once you're down a campaign and willing to take on newbies. Well, not total newbies. I just haven't played in a very, 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 very long time. Actually, I had a boyfriend in high school that he and his friends had certain very nerdy issues with certain elements of D&D, and so they made their own tabletop RPG, and they called it C&C, which stood for Caverns and Creepy Things. And we used to play that. There was also one we used to do. It was
short
I think it was
attempt
just
here.
called Vampire, right? Isn't that what it's called?
no,
the
no, here it
tabletop
is.
RPG? Vampire? something or
Vampire
other?
the Masquerade, right?
That's it. Yes. We used to do that one. That was really fun. Well, not all of them had girlfriends. This is the boyfriend, actually, shout outs for our 6-month anniversary, which is such a big deal when you're 16, right? For our 6-month anniversary, he burned me a CD set of all of the Final Fantasy VI original soundtrack.
All right, here we go.
It's a shame that didn't work out. He obviously knew what was going on.
Well, I married into this amazing game collection, so I did
You won that.
just fine.
Ooh, way to block the holy. Level ? Holy.
I saw that. I'm pretty happy about that.
The bigger problem with the little one is not Brown Storm, Andrew. It is trying to get her to not throw food off her high chair when she's eating. She doesn't do it, spitefully. She's just not coordinated yet.
Dullahan is hitting harder than I'm used to him hitting.
That's a good point. 3% of your life.
Ice
6
3
months.
as well,
Yeah, for a different anniversary, he did the same thing with the Chrono Trigger soundtrack, and that was also a 3-disc set. So I would listen to those in the car forever. And I liked that it was the original soundtrack albums.
What I'm hearing from Pat is
Pirated.
I should just try to absolutely murk this down. Because I don't want to deal with the new AI script. I just want to win.
I managed to Joker Doom myself right after getting Setzer during my
Oh
playthrough,
no.
by the way.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Something I don't think I'd ever done.
I've had really good luck with the slots today. Holy smokes.
I think
Go buy
they
a lottery
improved-
ticket.
I think they improved the slot RNG or whatever. I don't know.
I've heard a few people hint that might be the case.
Yeah.
I mean, they made a lot of changes to some of the individual character abilities, like Cyan.
Cyan,
Hello.
yeah.
Yeah. Science just better all around now.
Not having to wait for the little bar to creep up, ugh. All right,
Yeah.
fine. I'll just do Quadra Slam again.
Yeah.
Oh, so I got to give a shout out for anybody that's in my Discord, and if you need to be, just ask. I'll send you a link. But Karen put like some amazing resources on medievalism and gaming in the stream share channel.
Nice,
Yeah, I really appreciate you doing that.
Thanks.
There's some things in there that I need to take a look at too. I really want to look more at the Scholars of Color group that you
There we
mentioned,
go.
Medievalists of Color.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Their work looks awesome.
It's
'Cause
fantastic.
you mentioned it in your keynote too, and I was like, ooh, wrote it down.
Yeah, I've been shouting out a bunch of those folks for years.
And that's useful because like I'm a medievalist fangirl, but I don't actually, I don't do it. So I'm not as versed in the
Alright.
literature.
I'm actually going to
Yeah.
mute it here to avoid going into Daryl's theme. Dana, would you switch over to Scott's guitar version of that, and we'll listen to that before we do the cutscene?
Moment. Oh no, there it is. Okay. Share screen. Wait, can I just do that?
You should be able to just share the browser.
Yeah. I was trying to decide if I should try to take it full screen or not. But you can crop it.
That's enough. I'm not going to mess with it. We'll just see it.
Okay. Oh, so good.
Played on this right here.
They can't actually see you right now because we're looking at the sheet music video. Scott, hold on.
Oh, right.
I will say I really like seeing the tablature underneath it.
Me too. I love having both.
Yeah, dirty secret. All guitarists are only looking at that second line.
That's fine. The few times that I've had to do an arrangement involving guitar, I always do both.
You should. Otherwise, you might accidentally make something unplayable.
Yeah. I usually write it out in tab and then just copy paste it into notation.
MuseScore does a good job of both.
Yes. That's what I use and I love it.
That's what this is.
And there's your loop, too. Man, that's killer.
Yeah, so I had to. You'll notice that the melody is an octave lower than the original, and it's a compromise I had to make some of the chords really fill out.
Right, because you're limited with what you can hit in terms of how far your hand will stretch, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and just the power that certain notes have.
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
registers.
I really like it in this kind of alto-y range, though. It has a nice heart to it. I imagine another challenge was coming up with endings, right? For things that are normally looped.
Oh yeah, so I can talk a lot about this ending and why I did what I did.
Yeah,
That's why I'm letting
let's hear it. We're pretty close,
Continue
right?
to play, 'cause
So-
I really want to hear what the ending says here. Oh, I love that. Just like simple, up the octave.
Yeah, so
a little bit sparser.
The ending. So my intention was, so the song itself, you could say it's a little tonally ambiguous, right? It's doing the whole major minor song and dance. That's sort of quintessential to what that piece of music is. And I think that's a perfect representation of like coming to terms with loss. You think about the memories of happiness and sadness, and your emotions sort of seesaw back and forth naturally. Anyone who's lost anyone knows what that's like to experience. And I think the very ending, it was important to me to give just a pure consonance. So that final chord has no major or minor tonality. It's just a big A5. It's just A's and E's, that chord. And the idea is just, losing someone is neither, it is both something to celebrate and something that is tragic and sad. But in the end, it's a thing that just is, and it's a thing that happened. And that's why I wanted to end my arrangement with that. And I tried to keep that sort of process in mind for the whole album, anything that I arranged, because I had to pick an ending, since all the tracks, as written, are intended to loop. So that's why I did that the way I did it.
I think it's a really smart choice.
Thanks.
All right, I'm turning back on our music. We're going to go see what the game has done. And I've not seen this. I am very excited to see this. Hi, Serious Play friends.
Oh, yeah, you're hopping in at just the right moment.
Yeah, man, great timing for you all.
So I got my wires crossed. Were you all still playing Majora's Mask? I was like, Phoenix Orc. Normally, you guys come in rating saying, "Oh, we were just playing."
So here's
Majora's Mask.
Epitaph, and let's see our kind of cinematography as well.
Oh, what's the ghost outline here?
I don't like the ghost outline because it's telling you that it's a flashback in a way that it did not need to. Right? It assumes some stupidity on the part of the viewer.
Yeah.
Too bright.
It looks like an evangelical Christian church, projecting crap on the wall.
I don't like that they didn't fill out this tremolo, by the way. You can hear that guitar doing that da 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 da. It's gallopy.
It's kind of fluttery, I also am not getting a lot of the lower harmony there. It's more it's a lot more balanced on the Super Nintendo with the flutes. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I feel like I could use a little more of the lower harmony.
In the original, Pat, I can assure you the camera moves up rather than laterally left and right. Having just watched that sequence today. You're right, it is different. I think this arrangement is, and Scott put it a different way here, too faithful to the Super Nintendo. Because the tremolo is doing what the Super Nintendo does, but a live player who knows how to play the instrument would not do it that way, ever.
Yeah.
It's very mechanical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be, your fingers should be...
Yep.
And if you need to change to do, if you need to record it in different parts where you've got the mic positioning differently so you can have a different take and do different effects and whatever, then you should do that.
I almost wonder if they were afraid to mess with this one too much, knowing how much people are attached to it. Maybe they wanted to keep it really faithful for that reason.
I guess I didn't realize this was the song people were so attached to relative to the rest of the soundtrack.
It wasn't the biggest one for me, but I've learned how important this one is to a lot of people and just how many arrangements there are of it.
Will Chang's chapter hints at both this and Forever Rachel being important, if memory serves, to folks.
I think that there's something to do with any of these paired themes and the way that they give pathos, and a backstory, and they just make these characters so much more human and real to people. So Coin Song does the same thing with Figaro.
Part of it for me is, I think the Locke Rachel plot is far more important to the identity of the game as an arc, because now Celis remains kind of our main character and everybody else is along for the ride for this half of the game. But what percentage of players are going to navigate Phoenix Cave to see that whole narrative? Everybody sees this scene.
Yeah, Setzer was just never a favorite character of mine growing up, so I guess, like, even getting, like, the sad story, this one didn't, like, hit me quite as hard.
The reason it hit me hard is because if you look where we are right now, not the platform that Setzer is on, but the one below it is the cliff from which Celis jumps. We're above that now.
Oh. I don't think I ever noticed that.
I know it's just an asset reuse, I know. But asset reuse creates small connections that, even though they're there for reasons of efficiency, they are there. Right?
Yeah, and clearly someone's going to pick up on them. I love that he restored it before he entombed it. Like, that to me is a really, like, loving gesture. He didn't just put the wreck away.
Yep.
Of course, it's also convenient for us, because then it's flyable right
the
away.
piece is coming in now.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Do we need this theme?
Well, we just have to listen for a moment. Hold on.
Yeah.
Extra turn in that flute.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Pat, that bass is real soft.
But it is, like, note accurate to the OST.
Yep.
Sounds a lot like the original.
The basses.
I've left it on this dialogue, by the way, because I'm sad for the original dialogue. But I'm going to wait to have that conversation for a minute here.
Yeah, this bass line is really fun to play for anyone who has a bass guitar.
Yeah, this is Aces.
Fun. This is so fun.
Oh.
Okay. I'm about this.
Oh, it's so good. So good. They went hard on this. This is the best change in all of them, and this is so good in the OST. This is my favorite remastered track of the whole soundtrack.
That was phenomenal.
That loop is really elegant.
Yeah, they added the extra material to elide the original loop point, just like they do in a lot of the Final Fantasy I pieces. They're so successful every time they absolutely swing for the fence. It makes me wish they would do that for every track. Because this team of arrangers obviously knows what they're doing when they feel comfortable doing it. I just wish I could have empowered them to be like, make those types of changes across the entire board. In any case, now that we've looped, I'll go ahead here. Setzer is still talking about the airship in this particular line of dialogue on the Super Nintendo. He says, I couldn't bear to look at it, after having restored it and put it away. But now it might give us one more chance.
Oh, yeah, that is better.
So you're reading like, this is emotionally damaging for him to be here, right? And you don't get that vibe here as much.
Yeah, the idea that he's like he is sacrificing something for the cause here.
Right.
Sounds to me like you're coming around to this Woolsey translation team, Ryan. I'm just saying.
Yes.
There's a couple really great moments in the Woolsey translation.
That's right.
I think that might be there in the Slattery too, though.
game.
I want to go back and check out that Game Boy Advance translation again.
Man, this is so friggin' epic. I love it.
This is like a Final Fantasy XIV arrangement of this track.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, the propeller sound
Hmm.
layered over.
Oh, I like that, actually.
I like it because it sounds SNES-like. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So
All right,
again,
Ryan, you want to do
we
the
are not
original?
gonna... I will do the original right after we do the bird sequence. Hold on. Let the game load here. The Pixel Remaster does not actually do the Mode 7 map very well at all, so it takes a long time to load. We are not going to follow the bird's advice, though my book chapter argues that you should.
Follow that pigeon.
And I will admit, like I will tomorrow, for the more academic side of this conversation, it's because the world of balance is linear, right? You can make a list of what tracks play in what order along a critical path. The world of Ruin is non-linear, so if I wanted to do that, I had to make some decisions about which events would come in what order. And the game does absolutely suggest that you should visit this town and do Cyan next.
Well, if you're a kid playing this game for the first time on SNES, the towns are all numbered, like literally numerically. So I just followed that.
On the map, you mean, that came with the game?
Yeah. He's talking about the packaging, physical materials that come with the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I might have it up here.
If you have it here, you shouldn't open the box. My God.
Oh, we already have. But this is the spare copy. Don't worry.
Jesus.
We don't have anything that's like sealed, and this map isn't in the best condition. But I might have to turn off my. Do that really quick.
All right, I'm gonna land, save. We will come back to this town.
So this is the map that came in the original. As you can see, it's like dead.
Yeah.
But there's the original World of Balance. And you can see they are numbered and listed.
Yep.
And then if you flip it over, it's the World of Ruin, which is kind of a spoiler. You're like, wait, what's the World of Ruin? What's that about? So yeah, this came in the original.
It is a map
you would
stream now,
normally
Andrew.
Follow them.
Carefully fold it up.
So if you follow them in numbered order, is Miranda the first town in the World of Ruin? Well, no, because we
Solitary
visited.
Island, Albrook, Zen.
Yep.
Mobliz, Nikia, South Figaro, Cave of Figaro, Figaro Castle, Collingen,
Yep.
Daryl's Tomb, Miranda.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. The more you know, I guess.
But yeah, do you want to do the thing?
Oh yes, here before we. Yeah, I'll mute this and I'll do the party swap while we're all watching the other thing.
This isn't a
Pat's
map
right,
stream.
by the way. Rats. Not that I'm sad that Pat is right, but Pat is right. We have to go here first.
You ready for me?
Not much.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So the thing that I did first in this one, which is kind of interesting, is I isolated SPC 6 and 7 because they create this really cool, like, Doppler effect, I guess you could call it. And I just wanted to isolate that for a second.
That's cool. Yeah.
Just to get a sense of it. All right, I think I let it go too long, though.
It's fine. That's awesome.
I think I had a hard time chopping it when I went to make the thing. Oh, that's what.
There's a slight audio error. It's fine. Just let it go.
Yeah. Anyway. There we go. So that shows that one of them changes over.
Scott's right, by the way. This baseline is killer.
Oh, it's so good.
And it's so much more prominent here. I love the little slides.
Well, it's a very satisfying one to play on actual physical bass because you would do that slide and it's fun.
Yeah, you feel like $1 million when you do that slide down.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Little major cadence there. Love it. Yes, the 6 goes over to voice.
Yeah, I should grab my bass and play this later. This is a fun one.
And of course, here we get the epic version and the remaster. All right, so that's our loop point. Good times.
Yeah, that epic moment in the remaster. Holy cow.
So I have
Right here.
said there.
Yeah. Like, it's so good.
I couldn't have timed that better, unmuting. That was amazing.
Right there.
All right, let's land into our first bonus cutscene. Depending on time, I don't know if we will get around to doing every character's bonus subplot scenes on stream. I think we probably will, because I'm just going to level insane between now and next week. But we're going to do one of them right now. The shortest of them is Sabin's bonus scene.
Yeah, this game really rewards completionism, and like you really explore the world. You get everybody's backstory. So somebody like me discovered all of this very organically because I just wanted to see everything in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Duncan is awesome. Look at him. He's just like, you can't kill me.
Though that is just a Bannon color swap, right?
It is, yes.
So he doesn't get his own unique.
Bannon is so far removed from us, though, that I think this it's close, right? Like, you don't necessarily remember that. But you are correct. It is a Bannon color swap. That is the same one as it was on Super Nintendo. That was good.
Yeah, there's some spots where they reused the sound effects to good effect. Phantom Rush.
It's Bum Rush, we all know.
Come on.
So, do you know why it's Phantom Rush in the original Japanese and here? And I'm going to speak with some authority on this, because there's a good reason for it. It's the circle around and do a bunch of damage thing is Kelger the Wolf's technique from Final Fantasy V. American players missed that nuance, because we never got it, of course. But that is why it is correctly Phantom Rush.
Bum Rush is like an expression that people would be familiar with, so it works.
I'm not saying it's a bad localization, especially since we don't have the nuance of Final Fantasy V here. But I stand Final Fantasy V in this household, so we must always use what references we have to it. Wait, do I only have 4 characters at this point?
I think so.
Crap, that means I can't switch, I don't think.
Tara doesn't want to come with you.
Yeah, we can go back and get her in a minute. Okay, that means I just have to leave the ship, though. Hold on.
Yeah, so I realized I had my little, like... These were my little map collection here, sitting to the side. These were things that got taken out just because we're gonna hopefully frame them with like a, clear frame where you can flip it. Because the other one I have here which is in much better condition. Oh, let me turn off my thing again.
I could jump into Phoenix Cave and jump out. I appreciate the suggestion, but we don't need to. It's fine. Oh, that's awesome.
And it's in gorgeous condition. Like it's the folds are there, but nothing is ripped. This one's really good, and it's got all of the major like character enemies on the back.
I'm impressed. When I was a kid, I was so distracted. I just destroyed everything I touched. My snotty little fingers.
And then what's the other one I have here?
Because I think I've got maps. Just literally right here.
This is the other one that came with FF1. The dungeon maps.
I don't have any Final Fantasy VI maps, but I do have my Skyrim map in very nice condition waiting to be framed.
Oh, nice.
I actually have the show thing from that Distant Worlds tour that I mentioned earlier where I met
nice.
Ludomusicology. And actually how I met him, so it was the VIP show where you could go and meet him backstage afterwards. And as I was waiting in line, in their show notes, they were supposed to play the Theme of Love from Final Fantasy IV.
Oh.
And they didn't. And that really kind of broke my heart because I love that song. And as I was waiting in line, I was whistling it just because
You're passing time or whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I just whistle when I'm standing around. It annoys everyone, but it's how I am. Anyway, I was whistling the Theme of Love, and he joined me on that Major 7 leap. And then we locked eyes. He smiled at me, and we pointed, and he's like, ah! I was like, ah! And then I got to meet him, 5 minutes later. It is incredible. It is just before smartphones, so I don't even have a picture of it. I didn't bring a camera. I feel really dumb.
I think that's an awesome story, honestly.
Yeah. It was pretty incredible.
Dang. I just got a notification. Overcooked 2 is $6.24 on Steam right now. Hello, purchase for myself.
Nice.
I have the first one, but I don't have the second one. So
I love playing through Overcooked 2 with my partner. She and I had a great time. We've done most of the DLCs.
I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, the second one is even better. And you think there's no room to innovate?
Hello.
Yeah, you should do that.
It's good.
Come on, Edgar. Move it. Oh, rats.
Awesome. Oh, that makes me so happy.
And even though, you're not playing it for the plot, I'll try to avoid any spoilers, but you are fighting the unbred.
I know.
Right.
I've seen
So
folks
good.
play it, and I love that.
So good.
It's so fun. Actually, a lot of my video game music class for the summer just started on Tuesday, and everybody's... Oh, I think I have Mog. Did I have Mog?
Bum, bum, bam.
Do I? Yes. A lot of the students were saying they really like the Overcooked games. Was the end of that thought.
They're good.
This is pretty faithful.
I love that they kept that super bit crunched snare sound.
Yeah. It's almost like a vocal percussion snare.
Yeah.
Yay, Mog.
God, I just love this music. It's so good. Just all of it. Darth Plagueis, that's awesome. That you got similar meet and greet. Yeah, I don't know the actual year specifically that it happened.
Ryan, do you want to do Mog really quick?
Yes, let's. I've got a poster. I was at the premiere for Play in Chicago, and like 9 or 10 different folks have signed the orange poster on top of the bookshelf over there.
Oh, that's so cool. All right, ready?
Yes.
Okay. Mog's theme. The tuba's the best part. There it loops.
You know, and this is one that's the remaster is very true to the original,
Yes, very
Yeah.
much so.
and but it still works.
It also feels like there's a lot more room for some changes there, because there are a lot of different arrangements of that already. Like, you could just make one, right? You don't have to be faithful. In any case, I couldn't resist.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
But Jason Graves is on here. Nobu Uematsu is here in the corner. Yasunori Mitsuda is somewhere. Here's Yuzo Koshiro's signature.
Nice.
Everybody was there for the
Nice.
first one.
That's pretty exciting. Y'all still chilling here. Yes.
Nice.
Yes, we still be chilling.
Yep, you got us stuck with us for another half an hour here.
Yeah.
Let me unmute FF6.
Although
The closest I have, I don't really do signatures. At least I don't really have much. Joe did get Marty O'Donnell to sign some kind of Halo-related thing when he was the NACFGM speaker in Michigan.
Nice.
He brought something or other for that. So we do have Marty O'Donnell. But my favorite moment was at MagFest, just happening to recognize Takashi Tateishi in the hallway. And the line for his meet and greet was like 6 hours long, and I was like, nope, not doing it. But I saw him in the hallway, and I just went up to him and told him, how much his music had meant to me as a kid. And then he was like, "You want to take a picture?" And I was like, "Ah!" So I looked like a
Let's
total-
brag on you a little bit. You also told him as much
Nice.
in Japanese, if memory serves.
Yes, I did.
Nice.
I practiced it beforehand to Joe, and I'm like, okay, I can do it. I was so nervous.
Nice.
All right, we've got Molulu's charm now.
Yeah, his response was basically like, "Oh, sugoi!" And then he was just like, "Want to take a picture? Thumbs up." And I was like, "Yes." So the picture is me looking like way too excited doing thumbs up with Tatsuishi. Ichiban Tsukina!
All right, so again, we are supposed to be going over to Miranda, and we're not going to do that. We're going to go to the corner of the map. And it's not the exact corner. They don't figure out that tradition in full until Final Fantasy VII. But this is still the unused corner of the map here.
The unused corner of the map. There's some things here. Little solitary island.
And all the references to this in-game are pretty vague, but as a kid, I figured this out, and I don't really understand that. Because in the days before the internet, or GameFAQs...
There's got to be a character, I'll bet they're on the Veldt somewhere, one of the NPCs just tells you that Triangle Island exists, and this is the only one, in fact, shaped that way.
I'm very positive that's it. And then...
There's a few references to it, but... I don't know.
And honestly, I might have just been exploring and being like, what's this island, before I even had Mog or the Moogle charm. So it's very likely that I just happened upon this before I ever had the ability to avoid fights.
But your instinct in any fight, unless you have very specific reason otherwise, is just to kill the thing you're fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because you have to like sit and get inhaled, and it takes
Yeah.
a while.
Pat is right. There are NPCs who will tell you to get sucked. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, there is. You're right, there is a line,
But it is
that's clear.
counterintuitive.
There are a few. There's a few characters if I remember right, but I can't recall the lines exactly.
And then you're like, whoa, okay. I guess we're gonna find out.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
Okay, here we go.
I'm just gonna do this while we listen, because there will be no fights now. No. I love the flutter tongue there. Yes.
It looks like this one doesn't go ham on the loop. Did it just loop? I mean, is this
Yeah.
the same? I think it's just
Yeah.
the same, right?
I think it is.
I think they probably figured it's silly enough, it just kind of works. I love the performances on this one though. They like everybody's nailing that like goofy character of it.
Hmm.
Just no Julianne here to choke on white wine going lol flutter tongue. Yeah, Julianne's house hunting.
It's true.
Is it here? I hope it's here. Oh my god, I'm so good at this game.
Nicely done.
There's a little bit of like soloing and trading between enough instruments here that it's not just one loop. There's 2 or 3 verses, I think, going on.
I think everybody's just like really going ham on the character. But I could be wrong.
Go-Go is another. For a long time, people in North America, at least, were like, "Oh, I wonder if Go-Go is Daryl, right?" Because we don't know who Go-Go is.
Right.
It's the same color palette, and we don't know anything about this character except vanished in a faraway land. Oh, like Daryl did. It's not true. Go-Go's a joke boss from Final Fantasy V, and it's the exact same look for the character in that game.
And like that theory doesn't stand up because you're like, if it was Daryl and Setzert's in your party, why wouldn't Go-Go be like, hey,
Right.
Setzer, it's me.
Everyone knows Go-Go's actually just General Leo in some silly clothes.
Exactly.
He was just like, hey, it worked for Kefka.
Yeah. Right. That's see.
This is how you go, you know, get up in the world in the Empire. Dress like a clown. You just warp to the entrance.
I was teleported out, yeah.
Brilliant. Save
Now-
some time.
We're gonna go do Cyan tonight, and then probably be done for the day, just given our time limit here.
Sure, we can show that on stream.
Those book titles, pretty lewd.
I think we can get away with it.
Spoilers.
Oh wait, Miranda is to the right. Sorry, the Opera House and it are connected now. I remember this game's world map. Okay. So this is where we were supposed to go. I just wanted to eliminate all random combat for the rest of the stream. Hooray!
Yay!
I'm
That
gonna
does make
peace
it
out
much
just a
easier.
few minutes early.
All right, Karen.
Sleep well.
So I'll see you all. Have a good
Yep.
night, folks.
Good night. And yeah, we're beyond needing to buy stuff at this point. because we're just going to start finding the good gear.
Money is meaningless.
It is.
Gosh, I love this track.
Yep.
And it's the right house because there's birds on it. Put a bird on it. And there's flowers everywhere.
Yep.
My boyfriend sent them to me. Oh.
Except
okay.
Mobliz is the town, for viewers who are not intimately familiar with the game, where all the adults died saving their children. We've been there now.
Right. So you're like, okay, so who just sent me this letter? Okay. Yeah, exactly. She's like, wait a minute. All right. And they're made of silk.
Yep. I love the art thou well.
Well, like right away you're like, okay.
So, but what I want to know is not Cyan's own neuroses in deciding to replace the fallen soldier, which we will get to. How come Lola can't figure this out?
Right.
Yeah, that always, yeah.
Like, was her boyfriend really Shakespearean too? Have a flair for the dramatic. Yeah, you think she'd notice a handwriting change. Yeah, of course we'll send you the letter.
And at least on the Super Nintendo version, you do have to do this to unlock Mount Zozo. You can't just go there if you know, because the guy who sells you the item that will open up the dungeon is not put into the Zozo until this bird cutscene happens.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either until today when I was trying to be really fast.
That's funny.
I was like, nobody on Friday wants to talk about Lola. Let's just go get Cyan and move on. No, it didn't happen that way.
Hello, Lola.
Yeah, Lola required. That is part of the magic of this game, though. We've not said this yet. We could be done if we wanted to be, assuming I would just like power level off stream, get no more characters. Like, this group could go kill Kefka right now, and that would be the end of the game. Kind of an unsatisfactory ending, but an ending.
It is interesting to me, all the cities or towns, the only one that has that little casket piece of Daryl's tomb is Zozo. I always thought that was strange.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the little bundle of houses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like that the towns are different shapes in terms of how they use the sprites.
Yeah. When I played through this game as a kid, I remember thinking that, like, oh, that's a casket. Zozo, like, people are dying because they're fighting, and it's scary.
I love the filter on the opening of this
this.
track. It sounds like it's coming through on a radio at first.
Oh, yeah, that, like, really narrow telephonic bandpass. I love it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, this one I was very divided on because there's parts that are great, but the rain sound is too nice.
Yeah.
It's missing an edge. It's missing a low grit.
Oh, I already came up and got it.
Also, rip harpsichord. Yeah. Yeah, in my transcript, I don't know if you were here the week we did this in chat, Scott, but in my transcription, I labeled it as a harpsichord that's seen some things.
Yeah. You had actually I think that whole stream, you had some others with some very good.
Yeah, Dana kind of like got up in her own nonsense in a good way in that particular set.
Went a little off the rails,
There were a few,
especially after having Matthew Valente on. I was like, okay, nothing is what I thought it was. Like all those things that are the Greek lute instead of being like the mandolin-y effect.
This is our last gasp for the Mount Colts theme, by the way, which is very improved.
Oh,
and look at this
boring.
visual fog effect, too. Holy crap.
Where you can see the city through it.
Yeah, here, like, and it's Zozo specifically on top here, right? Like, that's really nice.
It's really good. That's pretty excellent.
You're not gonna fight a wind dragon?
I'll try it once. Why not? Hold on.
That's it's a bad idea, but
it's not a bad idea.
If you have thunder,
I have 2 thunder shields, and I've got the gear for it now. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
At least some of the gear for it, right? Like, that's gonna help. Mog sucks. We're gonna skip him for now.
I enjoy Mog. I use Kupo as a term of endearment, like in text messages.
Oh, we will make Mog good, but I can't do that right now.
Well, yeah, you need the shoot. What are those relics called? The jumping shoes and
The dragon horn and the dragoon
Mog
boots.
is definitely the way to go.
Oh yeah.
Dragoon Edgar is also a really nice play. Once his tools become less useful.
Yeah, this is the right play here.
Pretty sure I have to shout that out to my brother Matt. I think he's the one that sort of played around with like who makes a good dragoon. My brother's 5 years older, so a lot of my gaming knowledge came from. He was also very like in the weeds with a lot of gaming, so a lot of RPGs, a lot of kind of completionist like me, where he would talk to every NPC, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Imp Goon Mog.
Honestly.
Imp Goon Mog is so good.
Just normal dragoon, Mog and Edgar is reasonable. And then we're gonna just do this. And save. We will take one swing at this. And we'll do it on stream next week if I lose. Which I might, by the way.
It's a tough fight.
Also, instead of if we get Cyan's theme again here,
We will.
do we?
Yes.
We could play Scott's version instead of, because we've already seen my transcription.
Yeah, we will close essentially with that. Yes, that's the
That'd be a
plan.
fun one.
That was a fun one to arrange.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
God, we're gonna get our
it's
ass
so-
kicked. Hold on.
Like shakuhachi.
Yeah. Well, and to me, again, much like sort of the thoughts I had arranging Epitaph, to me, Cyan's theme, when I sort of like broke it down as I was transcribing it, to me it has 3 distinct sections with very different emotion that are 3 different aspects of Cyan's personality that, you know, I think really embody who he is as a character. It's like a perfect theme. It's so good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Music's so good. I just love it.
It also is in competition for the best reused theme, like in Final Fantasy XIV, with a different purpose, because it becomes Lord Hien's theme, who's our main Doma character. And it is hinted ever so slightly that that character in Final Fantasy XIV is Cyan's son, translated as Owain. Here, 14 takes place in some alternate universe where that tragedy never occurs.
It's powerful. Yeah, Cyan's theme to me projects a lot of just the stoicism and the you hear the loss, but there's also just this sort of like, not pride, but like decorum, you know, where you just picture him standing on a cliff, like looking out.
Yeah, even in the sheet
Holding
music
strong.
transcriptions, I labeled above each little section, and the 3 labels I chose were duty and honor, introspection, and triumph. And I think each
The
of
B
those,
section's very triumphant. I agree with you.
yeah, the da 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 ba ba ba.
Yeah.
The epic. You're
No,
just
that's
like,
where,
okay.
you know, after everything that's happened to Cyan, and even talking about this, I get goosebumps actually.
Yeah.
You know, everything that's happened to him and is losing his kids and everything, he still finds purpose and meaning and to fight. And I think the storytelling of that in the context of this game is just so good.
Yeah.
I think starts as a dance and ends as a song is a really great way to put it.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot, I've got Phantom Rush now. Psh, I don't need all this healing crap with Sabin, just kill the thing. Look at
Yeah,
that.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always just, like, his theme's so strongly evoked, like, again, like, and a lot of characters stand on cliffs and look out over cliffs in this game, but that sort of image. But when it gets to that B section, it's like the sweeping vista. Like, instead of looking at him, we're seeing, like,
Yeah.
the landscape, you know? It just becomes so much bigger than him.
Yeah.
Which is about as flowery as you're going to hear me get when I describe, how a song sounds to me. It's like when you have an undergrad describe music and they're like, it's like lying in a field of flowers. And you're just like, yeah, all right, cool.
I like that the letter is here. He's not going to tell you he's going to do it and then not do it. He has already decided that he can't keep this up, right?
And it's like so clear why he did it. Like they don't have to spell it out for you.
Yeah.
Where he
Let's
talks about just
mute
like
the
this idea of
music
not being
here.
able to let go.
And we'll listen to Scott's version. Dana, if you can cue that up for us.
Sure thing. There you go.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, this is a fun one to arrange on
That's the
guitar.
goosebump part right there every time.
Oh, yeah.
You get a really warm tone out of your guitar here for it, too. This is really nice.
And that's the loop.
Nice.
Should I jump ahead and hear the...
Yeah, you can do it one more time.
I mean, just let it play. Because I like to hear the endings.
Yeah, I had to make
sure.
some interesting arrangement choices. Like for the beginning here, you'll notice I'm like making full chords and changing the bass line. In the original, it's just like a static.
Right.
It's just like the
Bum,
one chord,
bum,
minor
bum,
one chord,
bum,
bum, bum, bum.
bum,
Yeah,
bum,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I gussied it up. And then here for this little section, I sort of invoke that shakuhachi vibe where you'll notice in the tablature all those open strings, it's so everything can ring all at once. And then here, it's the percussion. I'm trying to emulate the percussion with the bass note of the guitar, doing that da 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 da.
Gives it that drive.
Yeah, to give it that like,
the syncopated rhythm and everything.
Yeah. Which was a really fun one to work up on guitar too, because that's a very good like finger independence thing that I, even though I made the arrangement, like I had to practice this an embarrassingly large amount of time to get that melody still coherent above the syncopated da 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 da.
I'll bet, yeah.
Reminds me of playing unaccompanied Bach in undergrad and having that like independence across different strings.
Yeah, it's hard.
Nice. And again, that very like open ending with the A and the
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I do the same thing there too.
You're like, I'm not going to commit to this being happy or sad. You get to decide.
I probably actually do it on like at least half the tracks now that I think about it. I can't help it.
I don't think it's a bad choice for this game. I think that there's a lot of emotional ambiguity, especially depending on how much of their story you end up seeing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the instrument choice here.
Yeah, we
It's
were
so good.
I remember the first time we heard this, everyone just like breathtaking, like.
In terms of not happy or not sad on that open fifth, keep in mind Cyan gets no secondary theme, so he
his
needs
theme is
that.
his own secondary theme.
Right, he has both halves of it together,
portion.
and it's because he reconciles his past with his present, right?
Yes, he does. Excellent read of that. I love that he's just been like living it up on a mountain. Like,
Yep. Oh, I didn't realize that Woolsey's version of the poem is a 575 haiku. That's awesome. Y'all are gonna sell me on the Woolsey translation.
yes.
Ah.
Oh man, my life's work will be complete.
I like the
That
upper
and
lyrics
Julian
better
and I are gonna make
that are
Final
singable
Fantasy VIII
is
one
the
of your,
thing.
like top 3. If Julian and I can do that, man, that'll be such a coup.
You're not gonna sell me on 8. I'm sorry.
That remaster was embarrassing. I mean, it looked fine, but like you could tell that they didn't really relatively
They don't
give a
care,
shit about
no.
it compared to the other games. Very depressing. Oh, I love him like hopping up to reach it. Adorable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like embarrassed. Look, we already read your letter, man. Minor diversion. He's really, really good at making flowers. This is clearly going to be your career after we save the world. You're just going to like become
Right.
a silk floral artist. Yeah, it's cute. That's a sweet moment.
Oh, it's 687. Psh. The Woolsey translation is terrible, clearly. He is lying to himself. Here. Of course. We might have that conversation next week if we have time. That's one of the things that we may skip. We'll see how far we get.
Well, and I think it, is it even healthy to block out the past completely? Like, you should be able to like integrate it and carry it with you in a way where it's not debilitating anymore, but it's like it is a part of you. It's informed who you are and who you've become.
I think that Cyan's bonus sequence actually speaks to that very beautifully. Like right now, he's like, nope, the past is done. I don't have time to think about it. We're going to move on.
And that's a very normal thing for someone to want to say to kind of,
Instead of the Book of Secrets, I love...
A stoic person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, Scott. I hadn't thought about like Cyan as the emotionally stoic person in the face of like the poisoning of his people. Right?
Right.
Instead of the Book of Secrets, sorry, we're jumping to a very light topic here. It's Bushido in the bedroom.
It's perfect. Dirty book.
I'm trying to remember. It's different from that in the Woolsey. I thought there were like a few books in there for some reason.
There's a book on machines and Book of Secrets in the Woolsey.
Okay.
That's too tame. Yeah. Bushido in the bedroom is amazing.
Bushido in the bedroom is a much better line for sure. We have a minute left, and I'm actually, for the smoothness next time, we're gonna save right here. We'll start on the Velt next week.
I forgot about the Velt theme.
Where we will get Gao, and then kind of immediately abandon him. And then we will move on and do this cave, which is the next interesting spot. The game points you to the Velt to pick up Gao, and then quits guiding you. There are no more hints at that point as to where the remainder of the cast is. But this cave is right there, so you're gonna go inside there, right? And we'll see what's in there next week. All right.
It's just Realm, right?
No, it's not Realm. That was good. Scott, thank you so much for hanging out with us for 2 hours. This was fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun to have you. I also like hearing about, I always like hearing about the process of arranging, since I'm an arranger too. Like hearing, especially to do it for a single instrument, because I'm often arranging for groups or multi-tracking, where I can just kind of add as much as I want. So it's really nice to hear about like the decisions made in terms of the voicing, and especially coming up with endings for looped tracks. That's always really
and when you're limited, you've only got 6 notes at once. Your choices are. And there are a lot of practical, pragmatic reasons to do something idiomatic on guitar, but what might be like technically speaking, like not the original. Like I'll change
Right.
chords all the time just to make it work better on guitar, even if it's not faithful, because I don't care, because it's my arrangement.
Yeah. You have
So-
that ability, and
That's right.
Hey, if it honestly, if it comes out good, it comes out good, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
All right, gang. We'll see everybody next week. Thanks for joining
And
us.
tomorrow.
That's
Ryan
right.
is
Tomorrow.
on
Oh,
my-
forgot.
Ryan Day on my stream.
That's right. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, twitch.tv/musicologists. Yeah, we're going to talk about my book chapter on this. And I'll get out some of the actual like text resources and do the academic side of this game instead of just having a blast, having fun here.
Yeah,
All right.
we're gonna talk about everything you published, and 2 p.m. Twitch.tv/musicologists, and we have fun.
All right. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow and next week for more of this. 2 more weeks of Final Fantasy VI, and then we're going to be done after May is done, I think, is the plan.
Yeah.
1 week of
Moving
getting
on to other
everybody,
things.
and then 1 week of giving Kefka the boot, as it were, taking Duncan's advice.
Kicking him into next week.
That's right.
But we
All
will
right.
not do 1 more week of Final Fantasy VI, Andrew. It will not be like Final Fantasy VII, where we keep saying it's the last week. And
That's right. No, in fact, if there is a game I know the most about, this is a candidate for. Like,
Yeah.
I know how to get this one done.
This game isn't trying to make a game out of 10 hours of the original, So that game we kept being like, well, we know the beats of the original, but we just don't know how much they expanded it. So this one we know. We are playing the game.
That's right. 2 weeks. All right. We'll see everybody later. Bye-bye.
That's right. Thanks for having me. Bye.